Alrighty. Hello everyone. Happy Sunday. We're here for another Sunday chat. Almost forgot what I was gonna say there for a second. It's been a heck of a morning. Just wrapped things up with the tea timers over with the Patreon on the Zoom meeting. Had a blast over there. Ultimate chaos as always. Terrific though. Full of great people and wonderful community. We were talking about artist burnout and just I don't know. Are we meant to be at full tilt at all times? Wide open cylinders. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, we had a lot of good discussions today. It was a lot of fun. Let me adjust you a little bit. There we are. Well, welcome. I'm excited for the chat to pop in here, and we'll see what happens. Where this conversation might take us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I always enjoy these so much. It gives me an opportunity to hang out with you guys, Oh, hey, Dova. Great to see you, my friend. As always, I love that we have a usual crew that's popping in here. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's great to have patterns. Sometimes patterns are just great. the one who makes, I saw that. Terrific. Good afternoon to you. Yeah, and whatever time you're watching this, because it's recorded. It's way more fun when you put the live chat on there. It's like you swipe over across the comments. It's in a kind of a hidden spot, but it's a pretty cool place to to see what the rest of the community is saying, because it gets a little silly. No sweat. I just thought it'd be funny to call you out on it. Guten Tag. How you doing, Matt? Beautiful weather. Had a hailstorm the other day. That was fun. I tell you what, it was like being inside of a snare drum inside this tiny shop. Crazy stuff. But what would you guys like to talk about today? Wide open. I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of work in here. Then I got some mowing to do. It's been raining a lot, so the grass has just been happy. How you doing, Neil? What a great surprise. Perfect time for my shop projects today. Oh, that's wonderful. And what a cool thing to have on as you're doing an activity. You know what I mean? Kind of having an open-ended conversation while your hands can remain busy. Let's talk about your scroll casing. Scroll casing. Oh my God, the scroll case. I forgot all about that. You're right. I need to build it. It must be built. Renting for over a week here. Dova, where are you at? If you don't mind me asking, obviously. So finally able to get in the shop and forge. Awesome. Great to hear that. I had a weird thought last night. Let me grab something really quick. I'll be right back. I've been thinking, which is always dangerous. But I'm always like to, good old Pennsylvania, nice, Steel City. Well, that's Pittsburgh, I guess. So I love centrifugal energy, gyroscopes, which is what the heck this thing is, right? And I always like to think of how things can spin and how to harness, energy like that, because you're kind of like a flywheel. It's almost like a battery, right? Continues motion. And I was just when I laid down in bed, and all of a sudden I saw these images, right, as they happen to a lot of creatives, and it had to do with magnets. I'm sure a lot of you have fallen down like the perpetual energy rabbit hole on YouTube. Just people creating different types of perpetual energy, and it's impossible, right? Like it shouldn't work, and I know it's not going to work, or maybe it'll just be hyper efficient. Maybe it'll last for like ever, but then slowly tick down to nothing, right? But I've been thinking a lot about how reverse polarity magnets oppose each other, right? And very much like, okay, you ever filling up your dog's like dish bowl, right? Like your dog bowl. and you're filling it with like a hose, like the outside one, right? There's an outside one where you fill it more rough. You fill it with the garden hose. And instead of going in straight, you put a little bit of a little angle to it, and you'll get a whirlpool going, right? All of that energy is going and hitting the walls and creating that circular energy. All right, like this. But I got to thinking, like, think of almost the push, the magnetic repulsion as that garden hose. And if I just had a series of them at an angle, you know, the garden hose along the angle, like if I gave that thing a spin and put a heavy enough flywheel on it, why wouldn't that thing just keep going? And I know it's silly, I know it won't work because perpetual motion doesn't work, but I really want to test it. I just want to make it just to make it. And I got a hypothesis, but use the scientific method to prove myself wrong and prove that, like, yeah, it doesn't work. But because there's a lot of way smarter people out there that would have thought about this and created this long before I came up with it, right? But I still want to try it. Like, there's a build that I'll be doing a video on here pretty quick that has a whole bunch of really powerful, like, but they're tiny, really powerful, tiny little neodymium magnets. I'll grab them real quick. Neodymium magnets. But their repulsion, their magnetic repulsion is pretty palpable. Let me fish this little turd out of there. Okay, there we are. Everything's steel around here, so all of a sudden this thing will... It's dangerous for having magnets in here. But there's one heck of a resisting force. I don't know. I feel like it should work. Am I explaining this well enough? I don't think I am. Yeah, like that's pretty severe. Like I can't hardly like touch these neodymium magnets together. I mean, I could, but like it's a challenge. Love the mug, right? I need to print some of these. I found this at a Goodwill, like a thrift store, like a secondhand store more like. And I saw it, there was like a choir of angels when I found it. It was perfect. Felt like I found the Holy Grail, you know? But I don't know, I want to build it. There's also another design where it almost would be like a cylinder. Think of a rotary engine, right? The type of engine that would be on a prop plane, right? There's an eccentric wheel, it's like this, and it's pretty much sending a piston in and out. Well, instead of having an internal combustion engine, causing pressure inside of that cylinder to push that rod to crank, right? Almost like a locomotive, right? To crank that handle to create energy. You just have two magnets opposing each other, creating that magnetic cushion, repelling and pushing away. And if you had a flywheel on it, it would give it direction. Imagine a 6-cylinder rotary engine, but it's opposing magnets. Sorry, got on a tangent. But that's what I was doing at like 3 a.m. And I was just swimming. Just magneticism swimming through my brain. Does that ever happen to you guys? It's a real pain. But I was thinking I could retrofit this funny little cheap, super cheap little gyroscope as like a little proof of concept because I can mount some at like a 30-degree angle. I've been thinking about the angle that I'd want to put the pitch, along this flywheel. And then on this outer ring, very close, barely missing, right? Having the same angle where they would meet, but opposite. And then they would hopefully push them into a ring, much like the garden hose on the edge of the dish, the dog bowl. I don't know. Maybe I'm just starting to crack. Maybe I'm either onto something or I'm cracking. I don't know yet. You're randomly gonna disappear if you figure out how to make a magnetic right? That's usually how it works. There's that funny, like I love to work with sacred geometry. That's like it makes sense, right? I gotta build it. I just want to disprove myself because I want to know that this doesn't exist for a reason. Like this is too simple. This makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't it already exist? Anyways, But I love to, I love to work with sacred geometry. That's where a lot of my designs stem from, because we're working with things that are very like universal, universal truths that are just like they feel right. Everything mathematically lines up without numbers. It's all just ratios, golden ratios. Like from a perfect scroll, you could derive the Fibonacci sequence out of it, but nature just knows it without the numbers. Numbers are just our way we can kind of quantify things. But that's the way I like to create is ratios of things, right? The same way, you could just take a compass and start doing sacred geometry with it, right? You can do like the flower of life very quickly just by lining some stuff up, putting the sharp end on all the intersections, and all of a sudden you just have this smattering of circles that are perfectly in mesh with each other. Anyways, there I go again. But sorry, I'm missing the chat. Oh, but there's moments where it feels like you're doing like a spell, like from Full Metal Alchemist. I always like laugh at myself because it's like, oh man, what if I just connected these dots and all of a sudden, whoosh, a big shower of sparks and light. I completed something that I wasn't intending to, So you never know. But I was mainly thinking about it for the purpose of making kinetic sculptures hyper efficient. So maybe all it takes is a little push, but then it'll run all day. Maybe it won't be perpetual energy. Maybe it'll just be very efficient machines. You give them a little push, give them a little energy, and all of a sudden this thing's moving like a clockwork for a long time, and it's all just magnets. You're thinking a process reminds me of Oppenheimer. I haven't seen it. Should I see it? I would love to see it. I need to see it. I've been watching a lot of Peaky Blinders for the first time, and Cillian Murphy is a gem. What a creator. My goodness. Anyways, let me like recenter here. But yeah, and are there any implications when it comes to large series of magnets? Like a large scale, like if you've walked by it with your credit cards or your phone, am I gonna erase people's data like just by my creations? I don't know. Love the creative workshop. Ooh, episodes. Oh, Catherine, I'm so happy. There's more coming. I have a laundry list of guests. And if you don't know what Catherine's talking about, well, I started a new online web series. It's all across where podcasts are found, but it's the creative workshop to normalize creative conversations. Pretty much the stream of consciousness I just shared with you guys, but it's creators that you all know and love. I'm so excited to start bringing this to you guys because for some reason, like I've said it before, creative people, artists, inventors, they isolate because that's where the ideas kind of come from. Hi. But that's where the ideas come from. It's all very internal. We're all this like pressure cooker. And I'm a firm believer that everyone has it. Everyone has it. It just looks different. And that's okay. It's beautiful. Imagine if we all made the same stuff. How boring would that be? Oh, shoot. But I've been wanting to create like local little societies, where we could all meet in a coffee shop and exchange ideas. And no one was like catching on to the idea. And I'm like, what's going on here? Am I just the only lunatic that wants to do this? But apparently I'm not. So I'm really excited to do this, but now on a global scale as opposed to just in my local coffee shop. Let me touch base with the chat because I feel like I've neglected you guys for a bit. What if you built a Dwemer windmill to mill flour and the wind turbine for energy? Oh, Dova, hell yeah. Absolutely. If everything goes to kaput, I get some wind here, and I've already been thinking of places and maybe how to rig up an alternator, like a vehicle alternator to charge a car battery through wind. And you could create a banking system. I just wish I knew more about electricity. For some reason, that stuff is just, I can't wrap my head around it. I know you kind of think about it like tubes and water, right? You think it's easy to think about it like water, but I don't know, it's still just witchcraft to me. I don't know, if I can't see it, if I can't touch it, I mean, I can touch it. Does doesn't feel good. But I'm very kinesthetic. What I understand is something that I can touch. I might even hire you to make it for me. Hey, Dova, right on. Yeah, really. And speaking of making things, really exciting builds are on the horizon. I have a lot of fun things to announce. There's some cool stuff this year that we'll be building. I'm really excited, and with returning clients that I love to work with. Like, it's such a blessing when you get along well with the client. You know, they're allowing you to build really cool stuff, and you're being rewarded for your time. You know, you're able to pay your bills, because not all three of those things usually happen all at the same time. There's this almost like I don't know, this like sweet spot triangle of commission work or opportunity, if you will. Anything. You know, it could be a new job. You know, it's the people, the profit, and and the project. You know, like, do you believe in all three of those things in tandem together? Is it at the center of the triangle? Oh, there's a whole mythos in my brain that I need to kind of excavate, you know? Ooh, Matt, I have a question. How would one flip a sprocket inside out to make the teeth on the... How would one flip a sprocket inside out so it'd be on the outside of a chain? That wouldn't work because it needs to be under tension. The chain would just go slack on the inside. Why would it need to be inverted? Oh, Matt, I am so invested in this. Please explain. I have a question. How would one flip a sprocket inside out and have the teeth on the inside? Love that Yvonne's social media has opened up a new way to interact. Yes. Yes. The fact that we can communicate across oceans, carefully. The fact that we can all communicate right now simultaneously, and then this will be on the internet forever, hopefully. It's amazing. What a tool to have at our disposal to be able to connect with each other. I mean, like, how cool is this? Incredible stuff. But yeah, sprockets need to be, because the chain needs to circumvent the outside of a sprocket. Inside wouldn't work. It wouldn't. Because there would have to be some type of an escapement to let the chain go out. But you can go serpentine with the chain to make it go in any direction. You can do a lot with chain, but I don't know if you can do that. But now I'm stuck thinking about it. I have AutoCAD I have like 5 AutoCADs running simulations right now. It's both a blessing and a curse. I got to turn it off. It's overheating. It would need to be a toothed ring mounted on a flywheel. Well, the chain would want to fall inside, unless it was so tight, in fact, that, if it was a very small... My friend wants to make something. I bet they do. But the sprocket would have to go on the inside, because you have to... Because the sprocket, its circular energy, right? The circular shape of it is resisting the energy to collapse. The chain wants to collapse. I think he said a cup holder. Cup holder? What are we talking about, cup holder? Oh my goodness. Well, as I try to shut my brain down a little bit, I hope you're all having a terrific Sunday. I really, really hope you have a restful day. For some reason, a lot of us are feeling awfully exhausted. I've been too. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like a lot of us are feeling it. Just this kind of feeling of just fatigue. I'm not into it. But that also just could be not, we were actually talking about this today at tea time, is we don't really live in the seasons anymore. We're at like 100% capacity at all times. We're always running full tilt. And I don't know any machine, I don't know any electronic Not many things can do that without breaking down. And I feel like we're all kind of feeling it because back before the modern world, people would live with the seasons a little bit more. Wintertime things would slow down a little bit, and then we'd be slowly waking up by now. Just as nature is. Things are poking their head out of their burrows, and you can hear the birds and the bees buzzing around all over the place. You know what I mean? And their songs. Copper, get up here. And maybe this general fatigue is just because we're just running wide open at all times. Who knows? I don't know. Not this guy. Who am I? Here we go. What if it had both teeth on the outside and tension? Yeah, it would take tension, or a belt, teeth on the inside that would mount over the gear. Because then you would just have a sprocket again. I was thinking about that as well, Roseanne. Yes, you're on the right track. I was thinking about that as well. But at that point, you end up with a sprocket again. You go full circle, pun intended. You know what I mean? I love talking engineering with people because I'm not an engineer. I'm just a guy that's made things his whole life. You just learn things, and engineering is just problem solving. That's all it is. Roseanne, yeah. Like actual cups and cans are moving. Oh man. And it could be more of a beautiful day. But I just don't believe that we're supposed to be running at full tilt all the time. We need breaks. We need time for rest, or at least change things up a little bit. You can't be doing the same thing over and over forever. You burn out. And I can't remember who it was, but someone made the brilliant point, is if that's maybe the purpose of writer's block, is maybe it's just circulatory, right? Like maybe one thing leads to another. But writer's block is almost like forced rest. Your phone will do it as it overheats. That actually happened during tea time. If your phone overheats, it shuts down so it can rest and come back, with 100% capacity. So maybe that's what a little bit of writer's block or burnout is like forced rest. I don't know. But we're always thinking, and thinking is good. Thinking's real good. But also you can't think all the time either. You need rest. What are you working on? I'm working on a draft of that will be 7 of the same. Connect together. Ooh, Dova, that sounds really cool. I love modular tools that can transform, especially in tiny spaces like this. Made a lot of tools like that, and it's important. That's really neat. Very neat. Oh, where's Mr. Copper, dog? Copper, let's go find out. Copper, come here. He's probably laying out in the sun somewhere. What is Catherine saying? All I know is that social media allows me to find the absolute enjoy. Oh, wonderful. That makes me think of a ring on the top. Spoon, please. From getting wet. Oh, Roseanne. Here's Mr. Copper Dog. Come here, buddy. There he is. It is Mr. Copper Dog. He's a real good boy. He's got allergies right now. He's all itchy. He's got skin allergies. He's a sensitive boy. But he'll bounce back. It happens every year. Poor little guy. I just hate to see him uncomfortable. Makes me sad. Keep mustaches from getting in the drink. Oh man, that's a real problem. Better kiss him. Oh, I know. I'll give you a little smooch. Mwah. He hates it. He hates it. Man. Yeah, mustaches. It's a real thing. You got to almost it's gross. Sorry. Mustaches can get gross. You gotta make sure you wash that thing pretty good because who knows where you've been, right? Let me get to the things here. Oh. Yeah, without having to travel. Oh, totally. I was thinking about this today, where museums were a place to get inspired and like a very important thing to travel as an artist and all of that, because you didn't have access to all of the world's images at your fingertips all the time. Nope, that's not good water. Go on. Um, ah, he's over here drinking nasty, like quench tank water. Get out of there. Um, what was I talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Nowadays, artists, we can just like go and look and get inspired by a million creators every day. It's pretty cool. It's pretty darn special. I'll put a desk drawer. Oh, that's fun. Okay, you got it. Oh man. So for all of you in the chat, is today a rest day for you or a production day for you? Mine's gonna be rest days are few and far between. Trying to make content for you guys and also keep a roof over my head, but while trying to work. You know what I mean? It's tough, but I wouldn't do anything else. Like this has been amazing. You know, building community, sharing with that community. It's been the best. It's a lot of work, but it's the best. It's like 5 jobs. Creating art is restful. Sometimes it can be, absolutely. I've been restoring today. Oh, very good. Hard production. Hey, burn that midnight oil. I get it. It's great. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do some yard work because right now the greenery is just going crazy. So, as much as I want to build this contraption with my neodymium magnets, I got responsibilities to do. Darn it. Working all day, but I finished now. Ooh, play Sea of Thieves. Oh, that's a game that I know I would absolutely love and never got into it. Today is chess day for me, so no rest. Nice. Oh. Yeah, there's not much rest anymore for anybody, it seems. My goodness. But that's okay. That's okay. Nothing wrong with a bit of grinding, you know? Maybe I can do a little mock-up. Just a wee mock-up with the gyroscope, in these neodymiums on like a 30-degree angle. Because they have to miss, right? Along that line right there. The ones that are on this thing have to miss, the ones that are on this thing. But they have to be very close. So there's a lot of pressure that's pushing off of them. So we'll see. We will see, but I'm excited. Also, I'm making a bunch of things for another, like, not so limited release. Because the limited release did very well. And I want to get something that won't sell out in a matter of hours. You know? I would love to be able to give you guys something that you guys can rely on being in stock. So I've been working on a little something over there. People on TikTok have caught me working on them. But that's okay. Oh, man, what a beautiful day. Pure joy. Perfect. Perfect. I'm glad that Sea of Thieves is still, like, people are still playing it a lot. That's beautiful. It's a great, look, it's such a pretty game. Man. Well, guys, any final thoughts? Oh, you enjoyed those? Okay, good. Good. Are you doing any Dwarven style builds? Not right now. Yeah, what is rest, right? Fair. Fair. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm excited to show you guys, be able to share with all of you. And just I'm going to just keep working and making sure that I'm keeping you guys fed with plenty of content and all that. Just reset my injury counter. No! Dove, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, rest it, ice it, bandage it, whatever happened. Like, make sure you tend to your wound. My goodness. Well, I'm going to get busy doing something, and I'm just grateful I was able to share a minute with you guys. You know, hang out for half an hour and have ourselves a little Sunday chat. Well, everybody, I hope you have a terrific rest of your Sunday, either it be restful or productive. And you too, Ghost Girl, have a great day. Never forget, love you guys. And don't forget to love each other, okay? I'll see you guys soon. And until then, I'll see you later. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you. Bye-bye.